Good morning, family. Good morning, good morning, good morning. It is about 6:30 in the a.m. I am just getting the kids out of the door. I usually try to get up and see them off to school, regardless to how tired I am. Uh, but I feel like I got a little crook or something in my back from the way I guess I was sleeping. I guess I didn't sleep right. I don't know. I got some kind of, how like you get a little catch in your back? I got a little catch in my back, right up in my shoulder blade right here. It kind of tripped me out. Anyway, today is February the 15th. Today is Friday, and I'm up. Yes, I've been blessed to see another day, so I'm excited about that. But I wanted to come on and I wanted to talk about my children. Um, Senior! Senior! Come here, please. And I have to say, because we're going to just simply talk about kids today. We're going to talk about my kids, my relationship with them, and, how we do what we do in our home for our children. Hold on. Sis, I couldn't eat that food. Can you take it? I didn't want Tioni to take the full notice with her to school. I wanted her to simply take a copy of it and leave it here. Well, I think it's probably gonna be too late now. I mean, I mean, huh? I just didn't want her to take it because I didn't even want to. I'm sure you're gonna want to send a copy to your mom.
She was gonna call her dad and tell her.
Yeah. Take that food. I don't want it. But yeah, but it'd be good if your mom had her own copy to see. I told Tioni don't get the paper wrinkled all up and everything to bring it back. And I don't know what happened to the envelope that it came into because she didn't even have it in the envelope. I had it here on the side of my bed, huh? Okay. Um, did she take her cell phone with her? Okay, well maybe we can just call her and tell her. Anyway, family, when I tell you that my kids keep me overjoyed and they are my reasoning for me to do what it is that I do, for me to continue to have some form of strength, it is my children. Now, I met Tony February 8th, 1992. We had 4 years before we had Anthony. So as I was telling you guys yesterday, we had 4 years of travel, 4 years to kind of get to know one another. And I guess this is the reason now that we've taken the intimacy out of the relationship and we brought back the friendship. And it's so solid. It is so solid. Last night, Tony stayed here at the house, and he has his own room here in the house, and he just does his things. He come in, he goes, he whatever, and then I stay in my own little cubby hole and I do what I do, and it just is what it is, and it works for us. It's not for everybody, but it works for us, and we've been successful at it. We tend to have placed ourselves on the back burner and put our kids on the forefront. And I'm gonna give you guys a little bit of a background, okay? A little bit of background on how in which I did my thing. When I met Tony in February 8th, 92, um, I don't want to get too much, too graphic with it because I am gonna do this memoir. However, but when I met him, we just instantly clicked. I'm a Virgo, he's a Capricorn, boom, we clicked. And I met him on, what was that Friday night, early Saturday morning, because the club closed out at like 2 o'clock, and it was actually an all nighter that night on the base. So, um, needless to say, after we connected, because actually he was like stalking me a little bit, following me all around in the middle of the night in my car. So he don't want to admit that. Well, he do admit it. So, but yeah, he a little bit shame about that part. He in the other part of the house, he can hear me talking about him. Anyway, whatever the way, whatever the who, it is what it is. Well, so instantly we just kind of clicked. And we were like, we weren't interested in bringing the kids into the equation. You guys now see that he, once I met him, I didn't know that someone was already with child. So I didn't have a clue about it, but it was a rather, it was rather hurtful because I felt like, that was something that you should have, shared with me, entering into the relationship. And his son came, um, May 2nd. So is when his son was born. So his son and my brother share the same birthday because my brother's birthday is also May 2nd. So it just is what it is. But pushing forward, as you guys can see or saw from the show, that I was going through different things or whatever, but it was something that kept us together for whatever reason. I don't know what it was. Something just kept us together. So, or I guess our drive to not fail. I don't know what it was. I don't know. I don't know if it was my parents, because my parents just loved us as a couple. I don't know what it was really that kept us together. So here it is now, 21 years down the line, and we're still on each other's bumper. We just don't have sex. We don't even talk about that kinds of stuff. We talk about our kids. We talk about his job. We talk about YouTube. We talk about so many things. We talk about Kenny, but we just don't talk about sex. That's it. And it works for us. I know some people was probably before the show like, how they do that? Where they do that at? That don't make no sense. That don't go together. That. Well, trust and believe. I had to go through so many screening processes before we had to verify, clarify, and all that kinds of stuff before they were able to even put us on. And as a matter of fact, I got that from being here on YouTube simply by telling my truth. And, somebody wanted to hear it and they wanted to, put it on TV. That's how it happened. Period. Okay. And so, but, needless to say, we went 4 years of kind of just getting to know each other, ironing out kinks and this and this and this and this. Traveling. Oh my God, we went to the most exotic botanical gardens, and oh my God, we went to Hawaii a couple times, Jamaica. We never been to Bahamas, believe it or not. We never ever been to the Bahamas. Never ever been. Even still, we've never been to the Bahamas. But so many other exotic places and islands and St. Croix and all that, I did that. Western Caribbean, Eastern Caribbean, all that kind of stuff. We did all that, but I just never went to. I just never been to Jamaica, and so that was like something that we just never did. And then we were gonna take the kids on a big red boat. Remember? I don't remember if you guys were remember. Now it's a Disney Cruise Line, but before it was a Disney Cruise Line, it was called the Big Red Boat, and Disney owned it. And we were gung ho on taking the kids on because they also have Disney have their own island out there in the Bahamas, and just like now they also bought a little subsequent island in Hawaii as well. Just like the Big O, she owns an island. How huge is that? To own a fucking island? I mean, a huge island. She owns an island. Yes. And Tyler owns, a portion of the islands. He's also, getting into real estate. So he has like, wow. I mean, just anyway. So we were taking the kids on a big red boat. We ended up not going because Tony ended up getting deployed. So I know about the deployment life I know what that is to deal with such things, you know. And but still, the whole time, I was just a rider for my kids. I'm like, you know what? Guess what? Just as my mom rode for us, I took it upon myself to be a rider for mine, and I just was not giving up. And so it was never from the beginning, because when I first met Tony, guess what? I was in my first year of college. I didn't know shit from butter. I was 19 years old. I didn't know anything. He was already in his career field already. Um, and it's a trip because from the beginning, even though I was just his girlfriend, he was like, "You don't have to work. What are you working for? I'm going to support you, blah, blah, blah." And he has. He kept his word. So when I first met him, at the time I was working at Target. I was working at Target, and then during that Christmas time, I was working at Target and at Toys R Us. I had a little, seasonal job, and so I was working at the both of them. And that is when I was working at Target and I came home, and when I came home from work, that was when he was home with the baby in the bed. From you guys saw that on the show, and then they just kind of stopped it right there. Um, but needless to say, all the things that I've gone through, and I went through as a wife, as a girlfriend, and now still as, I guess, a wife, but we're just more friends. Um, it just, from the start, I was like, when I did finish school, it's funny because when I did finish school, and my thing was, oh man, I can't wait to start working. Anthony was born. Because I had took off from school. Even I had took off from school. I didn't go back to school. I was just kicking it, so to speak. I was just kicking it, laid up, kicking it, kicking it, kicking it. Watching old school Ricky Lake and Jimmy Jones and Sally Jesse Raphael. I was on that, and so, a lot of my girls and my peers were like, damn, how you do that? How you able to do this? And how you don't have to go back to school? And that's one thing that I do regret, though, is that I just did not complete school at that time. It took me to after Anthony was born that I went back to school and completed. But initially, I wasn't on no, I was so in love and so caught up in so many other things that I just fell off from school, and that is my biggest regret, is that I did not, before I had my children, I didn't stay focused and finish when I was supposed to finish. But it just is what it is. But when I got my job, when I began working, um, Tony's thing was, well, just put the kids in daycare, put them in daycare. And I'm like, okay. So basically, I worked to pay for the daycare. I never paid the house payment. I never paid the house payment here. I never paid it. Okay. And so, but his thing was for me to, put the kids in daycare. So Anthony began daycare when he was able to. He was there before he started potty training. He went to kinder care. And then after kinder care, let's see. Oh, did he go to tutor time first? He went to kinder care, because he was no, it was tutor time for a little bit. No, it was kinder care from the start, because my mom was like, oh, kinder care, put him in kinder care. And then my mom was like, no, we're going to put him in a monastery. And so there's a monastery in Loma Linda that my mom was looking into. And so from the start, before Anthony could even speak, he was in school. And so, and he would gravitate to things so quickly. It was like amazing, like this little bitty baby, this kid. I mean, Anthony was, had his bottle in his mouth. You know how like kids will hold their bottle in their mouth with their teeth, and it just kind of sways a little bit. And he would, in his book, and he would go like he's reading. but he couldn't get the words out. It was all babble, but he was like he was reading. And he would take his books and he would open up his books and he would just go through like he was reading. Well, when I was pregnant, I would listen to like the Beethovens and stuff because remember back in the early '90s they were saying that you put your earphones on your belly and the baby hear like symphony and stuff like that as you were pregnant. Well, I bought into all that kinds of stuff. I used to watch the Baby Story, Special Delivery, all that stuff that used to come on TLC channel, Babies Coming Home and all that stuff. I used to watch all those type of channels. So, and I was so excited that we were with child. I got pregnant when we were in Louisiana. We weren't here in California yet. I got pregnant with Anthony the first week of February or January. And we had, believe it or not, we had an accident on dry ice. We were on Mansfield Road. For those of you guys that are familiar with Shreveport, Louisiana, we were on Mansfield, okay? And we had an accident on black ice, and the paramedics and stuff had came, because our car was kind of crammed and it had hit a little thing, and so the paramedics and stuff had came, and I just was throwing up. So they were like, what's going on with her? So anyway, they had, taken me by ambulance. Now it took me to Willis Knighton South, I believe, Willis Knighton South, something like that. Anyway, so I went there and Dad checked me over and everything. Come to find out, they're like, she's pregnant. That's why she's not feeling good, and that's why she's, throwing up, and that's why she's feeling the way she's feeling. Who is that? Senior, is that you? Isaiah? Who's going in and out of the door? Isaiah doesn't leave until 7:30. Excuse me, so that lets you know what time of morning it is. Excuse my hiccups. You guys know I have gastroenteritis problem, gastrointestinal problems, which is also, I have a little gastroenteritis, but so it just is what it is. It's part of my problem. And so, who is that? Huh? What happened? I wasn't expecting Daddy to go get you from school. Daddy wouldn't got you from school. Don't get in the frame. I'm taping.
Anthony opened it. I told him not to. I'm sorry. I'm a little messed up like that, but Anthony opened it. I told him leave it be, but he didn't listen.
So, Daddy went back to your school and picked you up?
I was walking to school. I was almost there. I just stopped to talk to somebody.
No, there's no letter in here.
I know Daddy's copying it.
Oh, Daddy's copying it? Okay. And then I want the original because we're gonna send a copy to your grandma, and then you take the copy to school, and then because I just want to keep it because I want to frame it.
Okay. Mommy, what else? I'm gonna call her. I was calling her. I'm gonna call her today because I couldn't reach her yesterday either.
Who?
Grandma.
Okay.
Yesterday she was out with her friend. Her friend took her to Barnes and Noble and somewhere out to eat.
Okay. Also, when you get out of school today, you are going to go with Glenda. You are supposed to stay the night with her. And we're going to get your hair redone. So I'm going to need you to start taking your hair out.
Okay.
Okay?
Okay.
Okay. But if in the event that I'm not here and Glenda's here or whatever, I need you to start getting your clothes packed because I think you're going to go and stay with her for the weekend. Because it's a 3-day weekend, right?
Mm-hmm.
Thank you, Senior. Did you? I didn't want you to have to go and pick her up and all that. I didn't. Thank you. I wasn't expecting you to do all that. I was just simply saying that I wanted to. Huh?
Day off. Our computer down.
Oh, so you with me all day? Oh.
Yeah, I'm gonna do something nice for you today.
Oh, okay.
You was a surprise.
Well, thank you. Well, how come you didn't tell me that yesterday? You told me that you had a surprise, but you didn't tell me what.
Cause if it's a surprise, why I'm gonna tell you? You just ask your own question.
Anyway. Wow. Okay. So, anyway. So, we're gonna get to this in a minute. So, anyways, I was not expecting. You see the things that he do for me, and it's a trip because, and then people are like, well, why won't you just take your husband back? I love the place that we're in right now. I'm able to have my own way. Thank you, Father. Thank you. That is the reason why Tony them got me a skylight in my room, because I have talks with God all the time. Some people probably say it's crazy as hell, but they put a skylight in my room so then therefore I can look up and, you know, I mean, I'm very prayerful. People probably don't even think that about me because my mouth is so foul and wild and I speak so raggedy half the time. Let me see what you're looking like, Button. Very nice. Very, very nice. Come all the way in. Let me see. Let me see the back. Very nice. Make sure you put some deodorant on. Nice clean socks. Put something in your hair. Don't have your hair dry. Did you brush your teeth? Okay. What time is it? What?
7:17.
Okay. All right. Wow. Senior, I have him all day. This man works like ridiculous hours. He works like crazy. And he is such a good dude. I mean, I swear, I don't want to just make this about no, because, you know, somebody going to get mad. You know, I can't talk about the things that I want to talk about half the time. I got to come on here sometime and act a damn fool. Because when I start talking about things that are really dear to me, you know, people seem to feel that, you know, I'm bragging or boasting, and it isn't any of that. I'm just here sharing my truth. So if my truth are happy things in my life, then why can't I share that too? Why can't I? You know, I mean, I don't have a problem with getting on here and being a riot. That is my personality. I can go haywire. You guys already know that. But that's not me all the time. Come on now. You know, I mean, shit, I've been in the kids' PTA and doing so many different things. Do you think that they would have a crazy bitch like me in there if I just showed up on some old bitch whoop de whoop whoop? No. No. It's a time and a place. Now, when I'm in my home, I can show the fuck out as much as I want to. But out in the streets, that's what people be tripping out with. You know, and I guess that's why, well, I don't know. I remember that one video I did and somebody was like, she's schizophrenic, she's crazy as hell. No, I just have a personality. You should give one. They're nice. Okay? But when I'm out and about, I'm so not, you know, flamboyant or any of that. I'm none of that. Okay? I'm very kind of subdued. I'm a little bit, well, not really quiet, but you know, I guess I'm kind of reserved with personality. And it's like as soon as somebody talk to me or speak to me, it's like, boing. And then I you know, jump out like a jack in the box. And I'm just, you know, so full of personality that they would see. And they really trip out because they like, damn. You know, I mean, you just didn't seem like you was just going to, you know, come out with all this personality or whatever. But I don't know. It's just me. It's my get down. Whatever, excuse me, if it's a bother to anybody, I just am who I am, and that's it. I can't make no excuses or nothing about it. I don't want to. It just is what the fuck it is, okay? So anyway,